What is the role of the Governor of New South Wales? This is a question that I imagine many people from time to time may ask. The appointment dates from 1786, 2 years before the arrival of the First Fleet, when our first Governor of New South Wales, Governor Arthur Phillip, was appointed as a representative of the Crown in the penal colony of New South Wales, then an area embracing roughly the eastern half of Australia, together with adjacent Pacific Islands. Until 1824, the Governors of New South Wales were absolute rulers, the only power superior to them being the British Parliament at Westminster in England, nearly 20,000 kilometres and 8 months away by sea. That was a very different model to the role of Governor of New South Wales we see today. Our form of government is a constitutional monarchy, in which a monarch acts as head of state. Under this system, the monarch does not have the power to make and pass legislation. This power resides with an elected parliament. As a system of government, a constitutional monarchy separates the head of state from party politics. The Queen is the sovereign or head of state of Australia, and is also the sovereign or head of state of each of the states, which have independent political status. The Governor-General is the Queen's representative in Australia, and the Governors are the Queen's representatives in each state. The Governor's responsibilities, powers and duties encompass 3 key areas: constitutional, ceremonial and community. In the states, the Queen appoints the Governor on the advice of the Premier, but the Governor is also the representative of all the people of the state and should not be seen to be aligned with any political party or group within society. The Governor is there for all the people. So what does the Governor do in terms of the Constitution? As the Queen's representative, the Governor acts for the Queen in relation to the state in one respect only. When the Parliament passes a bill for an act, the bill is sent to the Governor, who signs it on behalf of the Queen and in her name. The reason for this is a legal one. The legislature, the law-making body in New South Wales, consists of the Queen, the Legislative Assembly and the Legislative Council. So the signature of the Queen or the Queen's representative must appear on the bill to make it law. In all other respects, the Governor exercises his or her powers in his or her own name in relation to the state. Under a host of Acts of Parliament, the Governor, as the administrator of the Government of New South Wales, is empowered to sign documents of all kinds, in order that they become legally enforceable and to progress the business of government. Every week, the Governor presides at a meeting of the Executive Council, the Cabinet, to approve and sign such documents. Some examples of business items brought to the Executive Council for consideration and ratification might include an increase in the request to the Treasury for funding to complete a project, or a request for some Crown land to widen a road or to extend a school. The Governor's most important function in the constitutional sphere, perhaps, is to ensure, as far as possible, that the rules are being obeyed, that is, proper constitutional processes are being observed. The second key area of the role of Governor is the ceremonial role, in which the Governor represents the people of the state on occasions which celebrate or commemorate events in our history or in the present day. Sometimes the constitutional and ceremonial roles overlap, such as the swearing in of the Premier and the Ministry. Other examples of the ceremonial role may include delivering the Anzac Day Dawn Service address or leading the Anzac Day March, conducting the ceremonies of investitures, where citizens of the state are acknowledged for outstanding service to their community or nation, or hosting visiting heads of state and dignitaries from other nations. The third role is the increasing area of duty which takes up much of the Governor's time. This is called the community role. This is an extremely important and rewarding role of the office of Governor. As Governor of New South Wales, again representing the people, I travel about the community and about New South Wales, encouraging and supporting many organisations and activities essential to a good and humane society. This may include fostering Indigenous and youth leadership and advocating for the marginalised and vulnerable members of our community. Linda and I also make a special effort to travel to those pockets of our community affected by adversity, floods, bushfires or other disasters. A considerable amount of wonderful volunteer work is done in our community. We depend upon it greatly. The role of Governor is also to recognise those individuals and groups and reward excellence in all its forms. Linda and I make many visits to rural and remote areas of our state, along with our urban centres, visiting so many worthy organisations, including hospitals, nursing homes, schools, research centres, youth centres and Indigenous groups. We visit commercial groups as well as not-for-profit organisations and organisations of which we are patrons. This community role is an area of great need, but is also a great privilege. I am proud to represent this wonderful state and the people of New South Wales in all their endeavours, and I look forward to meeting you over the course of my commission as Governor.